Hey everyone, this is Rachit from the Collector Life, and this is actually a absolutely awesome day because I'm here in Singapore at the XM store with Ben, the big man behind XM.
Hi everyone, Ben here.
Yeah. And as someone who's been to a lot of Comic Cons and comic stores across the globe, I have to say I haven't had my jaw on the floor as much as I've had here. This is absolutely sensational. I mean, from a collector perspective and from a fan perspective, beautiful pieces, and the way you've got it, it's a huge space. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So congratulations on the store.
Thank you.
Now, I've not really prepared any questions for this, so we'll just, I would like to have a conversation. So, I think one thing that I would like to ask you is, XM is, when you compare it to companies like Prime One and Sideshow, XM is fairly newer in the market because Sideshow has been around for like so many years. But in a very short period of time, XM skyrocketed and is at this point of time, I think, considered the premium statue collectible company. So how do you and what do you attribute that rise to? Why do you think XM has such a strong, loyal fan base which it has right now?
So first of all, we are artists ourselves, right?
Yeah.
So we basically master the trade.
Yeah.
So of course, when we want to put out something for the collectors, we make sure that we as artists can accept the design and the quality, right? So to XM is quality and design always come first. Customer service. Of course, we cannot please every collectors and fans, but we try our best to communicate in the community, to get feedbacks, and then to listen and see how we can perfect our art piece.
Yeah, I think that's a very good thing that you said, and it's something that I've noticed, and specifically with a couple of recent statues that came out. That when you reveal the prototype, and then obviously like you said, you can't please everyone, but there's a lot of feedback that comes in. People say that we want this to be changed and we want something else to be changed. And I think XM is pretty much the only company I've seen from a statue perspective that you actually take that feedback in, and even if the prototype's already out, you will go back to the drawing board and you will make certain changes. Swamp Thing, for instance, the classic example, Swamp Thing. I thought that was brilliant. The fact that the feedback came in about the pose and and you gave us almost like a second torso, I think, for that. So, does that not add to the time and cost? But you think that's okay because people are happy?
Of course, I mean anything that will change add to the cost and time.
Yeah.
But end of the day, we also have to remember that we are building an art piece for the collectors and fans.
Yeah.
So, and of course, we need to gather all the feedbacks, right? We cannot just change something because one or two people don't like it.
Yeah.
Because art is, there is no definitive whether it's right or wrong. Everyone look at art differently.
Yeah.
Everyone look at statue differently. And a lot of collectors need to understand all these are handmade and hand painted, right? So apart from design, sometimes when they receive it, the pieces, they feel that they use a magnifying glass, they boom it up, zoom it up. Hey, there's one dot here, there's one over painting here. Hey, come on, it's hand painted, right? We are not robot. I mean, there must be a minimum, things that requirement that we can do and we cannot do, right? But they do not understand it. They feel that we pay this amount of money, it must be perfect. But there's no perfect statues.
No, absolutely, and actually the fact that it's hand painted adds a little bit more charm to it because it's painted by a human. It's so every piece might have a little bit of difference from each other. So I think that's great. And I think one other thing that I really appreciate XM for is you guys don't just stick to the same characters, the main characters. You've done a lot of, especially in the XM line and other lines, you've done a lot of what you would call tier 2, tier 3 characters as well. So I think that's great because you're giving collectors what they want. So yes.
So of course everyone want to do tier A characters because it sells. But looking at so many studios doing the same characters over and over, you feel
same Batman, same Wolverine.
Yes, I mean it's like you can see studios producing like 30-40 Batman and still Batman, right?
Yeah.
So of course for a company, we first of all we have to make sure that the company is profitable and we can continue this hobby,
of course,
to continue to create an art piece for the collectors. We cannot keep doing tier 2, tier 3 characters which we can't sell, and yet we have to do it. So sometimes we need to have a balance in between,
course.
right? Now, so to have a balance between the tier A, tier B, and even tier C characters across, and everyone always asks it for more tier 2 and tier 3 characters.
Yeah.
But in fact, that when you release it, they don't buy it.
Yeah.
A lot of people that actually comment it are the people that don't buy it. They just comment for the
yeah.
sake of commenting.
Yeah.
You know, so we're trying to get a balance there. You know, so of course we have a lot of supporters and fans all over the world. You know, that's what keeps us going. You know.
Absolutely. I mean, the fan base that XM has is tremendous. Because I am in a lot of groups, so I see that there are tons of people that will defend XM, or not just defend, will come and say that XM is the best company, and I can see why, because the statues are absolutely great. Yeah. So I think as one of the very initial grail, the term grail is now being used at almost every second statue. The collector community calls it a grail, but I think one of the very true initial grails was that Magneto on Throne, which you guys came out with like years ago. So, and there are a few, like it's the Magneto on Throne, there's the Ghost Rider, which is again such a sought after piece. Have you given any thought to maybe re-releasing some of those popular ones again, a second version, or you think it's better if they stay?
We definitely will not release it at the same scale.
Yeah.
Right? So we have customer coming to us. Is there a possibility of us releasing a 1/6 scale?
Okay.
Right? So it's just basically for those that collect the smaller statues. They feel that this is 1/4. It's not a skill that they collect, but the design is nice. So we always get inquiry from collectors. Do you think it's possible to do it in 1/6? So we are thinking about it. So no.
So there's a possibility. They're still thinking about it. That's interesting.
Yeah. So we do. So over the years, when we start to build the 1/6 scale in DC, right? So we can see that actually more and more collectors are asking us to produce other licenses in 1/6 scales. So the company is looking into it and see, looking maybe in future, see if there's something that we can do.
Perfect. I think that will be great, because I know a lot of people in India as well who absolutely love those sculpts and have been dying to get it, but now it's so scarce that you rarely get those statues. If it's issued in 1/6, I am sure you'll find a lot of demand for it.
And to be honest, a lot of people, collectors, right? I mean, houses are small over the world.
Yeah.
So they would like to have a lot of pieces, but at 1/4 scale, the most they can display like 20-30 pieces.
Yeah.
So they say if I have 1/6, I can put 50-60 pieces and the range.
So not everyone has houses like they do in the US with the huge
even
basements.
those with huge house, they might not want to stuff their whole house with statues, right? So we are looking into this aspect of the collectors, their requests and so on, and see in future, down the road, the possibility of coming out the 1/6 Marvel line.
That's absolutely awesome.
Because we are able to create that. It's just how we want to start with it.
Yeah, because you already have the license, you already
we
have the character design already, all of that. So that's interesting, and that's something that definitely I'd be interested in. The one more thing, and I like I was saying about XM having a strong fan base, I think is also you don't shy away from experimenting. For instance, the Samurai line is tremendous. I don't see many other companies, any other company, just doing a separate line and reimagining characters in such a way. So what made you actually come up with that, and did you think of it as a risk back then?
Well, we were being given the challenge to design a whole new universe for Batman.
Yeah.
So we do go through all the research to find out what people like. Basically people love anything that is Japanese style, Persian, Chinese, ancient, in the myth and mythology and so on. So end of the day, we chose the Japanese style. Feel that the samurai range, there's just something about samurai that attract you.
Yeah.
Right? The energy behind, the philosophy of the samurai.
The honor and pride and all of that.
It's just captured people, So that's how we started with it. We decided to go for the samurai line, and we just try do our best,
No, it's absolutely amazing, and the fact that it's just going from strength to strength, and like you said just earlier on that there are more pieces upcoming in the Samurai line. So you've got this entire line.
And
So
we are doing a new line.
oh, a new line. Are you able to reveal what it is, or it'll be surprise?
I would say that is more like Sorcerer and Knights.
That's interesting. DC or Marvel?
Under Batman also.
Oh, in the Batman universe. That's very interesting, guys. You heard it here first on TCL. But yeah, so that would be interesting. I think because the Samurai line I was late to, so I've missed quite a few of them, and I think they're, for instance, the Poison Ivy is one of my favorites. I think that's such a gorgeous. Each one of those statues is absolutely gorgeous. Any plans on? I'm saying this as a out and out DC fan. Any plans on doing a Nightwing statue? Not samurai, regular comic.
I
Nightwing.
remember seeing it somewhere because we have so many characters that we are doing it. I remember seeing it somewhere. I definitely is in the development list.
Oh,
it's
perfect.
just when we're going to release it as well.
All right, because I remember, and I think this was around 6 months back or so when you had released some of your coming soon in this year list, and Martian Manhunter was also part of that list. So is that also lined up for release this year?
Yeah, we have a whole list of characters that we're going to target, to work on. So we have usually work on the list for the next 3 to 5 years. So huge list, I would say. We try and do as many characters as we can.
That's great. So I will send you some lists that I want. so let's see if those can make the cut. Again, like I said, I'm a huge DC guy. I collect a few Marvel, but just a handful. But generally, DC is where my jam is, and that's what I collect mostly. So I'm very interested in.
I saw some our sculptors doing I think a Samurai Bane. Yeah, it's fantastic design.
Very nice design. Huge.
A new Samurai Joker to pair with the Shogun.
Yeah.
That's very nice. And a few others. I think we're going to review the Riddler soon.
Yeah.
Right. I think next week or so we'll start to review all the
yeah,
images.
you'll be sharing the teasers and stuff. I've been seeing that.
And more classic line for the DC, the Batman. You just saw that we just started the Batman. Superman.
The Superman, the classic Superman.
So you can expect Wonder Woman and Batman to be.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I think it's also one of the things that's really great is you're doing 1/4 and 1/6 in the same.
So a lot of people ask,
Yeah.
why are we being so lazy using the same design to create 2 categories? But in fact, that we receive a lot of emails and feedbacks from collectors. For those that collect the 1/6, they love the 1/4 line, but it's just too big for them.
Yeah.
They just say, can you please create it in 1/4? And after deciding, so we release it in two different sizes.
No, I don't think it's being lazy at all, because there are very clear collectors that collect 1/6 and we want both. I'm saying this as someone who used to collect 1/6, and I will always look at the 1/4 statue.
There's a lot of keyboard warrior out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
They don't appreciate all this hard work that studios have put in.
For sure. I mean, like you said yourself, can't please everyone.
Yeah.
So I think it's great that you're giving the collectors the choice that it's the same character. You can have it in 1/4 or 1/6.
Even for the sanity, right? 1/6. We have customer coming to the band. I only collect 1/4. Yeah. Can you do this in 1/4? I don't mind the size. It will be huge. 1.1.2 meter, but they just collect 1/4.
Yeah.
And they love that this is a very good design, and they just want it. But when I was doing a poll a few months back. People say, "Oh, are you lazy?" I said, we can't please everyone.
You can't please everyone. I mean, you hear that with the poses as well. Everyone is saying the fist in there and stuff, but a superhero pose is a superhero pose.
2 hands, 2 legs. If we can have spider pose or exorcist pose, then it doesn't look like superheroes, right?
Yeah. So, but as long as you've got 80 to 90% of people happy, which you do, I think that's
Superman is flying. Why not? So what you want to do? So
a
lot of people just don't say, "Hey, boring pose." Yeah. Come on, why don't you give me a pose? Right? So.
What else will Superman be doing if not, flying or else? Will you show him sitting down? That doesn't make any sense.
So, you just need to.
So that's all right. I don't think, like you said yourself, keyboard warriors, you can't really please all of them. So that's perfectly okay. How do you see India as a market? Is that something that you've really explored?
I was quite surprised. I was told that there is 20, 30 DC fan club in India,
Yeah.
right? And India, basically, there is a huge market for WB, for DC
Yeah.
Comics, right? Which I a lot of people do not know about it,
Yeah.
right? So definitely we are doing more things for India,
Yeah.
right? So we'll start to engage with all the fans club and see if there's anything, we can do.
Perfect. That's awesome because there is. So India is, I think, where maybe other countries were possibly 5 or 6 years ago. So we've just started when I say just started, I mean in the last few years, people have really started buying statues, and especially the high-end 1/4 scale statues. So it really wasn't there initially, but now we see these collectors are growing. We have more and more collectors that are into the 1/4 collectible scene. They are looking at it as, if not an investment, it's something that you want in your house.
I always tell collectors, right, don't buy because of investments, right? You buy it because the particular piece bringing a lot of memories back to you.
Absolutely.
Whether is it because you read the comics before, you watch the movie, you play the games before, and you look at that, you remember, right? Oh, I remember these characters. The memory, the piece of things, that is something that money cannot buy. It's not about how much price will increase over next month, over next year. Should I be buying? Come on, go and get a stock. Buy a stock, buy a property, get a watch. Collectibles is to be appreciated.
Absolutely.
It's a visual, right? It's something that is to be appreciated, not because it's an investment.
100% with you there, especially as someone who genuinely throws all my boxes because I don't have space for the boxes. When I buy a statue, I'll just display the statue because it brings me a lot of joy, and the box I'll just throw. So even if the statue was to increase 10 times in price, I can't sell it because
I have collectors that don't want box. They just say ban. The new box. I'm not going to sell.
Yeah.
It's for my own.
Yeah.
I'm going to display it. That's it. I don't need the box. Right?
I'm exactly the same way. But then there are also tons of collectors that just keep on putting boxes in their warehouse and
of
don't even
course
open
we
it.
are not against people trading statues. It's a hobby, right? You collect and you find something nice. You may not have space. You sell off and you buy a new one. It's a good hobby. Right, but not at the angle of the investment.
Absolutely.
Right. So just buy something you like, not because your friends say it's good. You should look at you should feel it yourself whether the piece is nice or not. Because everyone look at statue differently. Right. A piece that you like, I may not. Right.
Absolutely. It's all subjective.
So you just ask yourself, do you like it? If you like it, why you bother about what people say about it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, does the character give you joy? Does the art give you joy? The concept, the design, everything that you have.
And that's the reason why we set up this gallery here, right? And it's open for public. It's free. You can just come in. We just want people to really look at the pieces that we have. To enjoy it. It's not about people say it's not nice or so I don't want to buy it. No,
this is absolutely awesome because like I told you, this was just a day trip. It's a layover trip. I had no intention of coming and really buying something, but just looking at all of these statues in front of you, that makes you want to almost, now I want to pack up 3 or 4 of these and take them home. So that's great. I think from a DC perspective, I think it's really awesome the statues that you're doing. We're really looking forward to Martian Manhunter. That I think is a character that's been criminally not valued by any company. I don't remember any statue of Martian Manhunter. So really looking forward to that. Looking forward to Nightwing, and like I said, in all probability I'll be back here in December, and I'm looking forward to meeting you. It's been a great honor sitting here and talking to you. Thank you for taking the time out. I know you're a busy man. And this is an absolutely awesome place. So everyone that's watching it, if you can come to Singapore, come for yourself and look at all of these statues because they are beautiful.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.